I'm going to start recording, and we'll probably have people hopping on. I feel like I'm getting a little something, like a little bit of a cold, so y'all keep me in your prayers. I have a family member that has cancer, so I can't be around her if I get sick. So I'm like, fingers crossed, be blowing all the oils. I've been drinking herbal tea. I cannot get sick, or I can't be around her, and I would be devastated if that happened for Christmas. So y'all just keep me in your prayers. So I know most of the faces on here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Elisa Cowart. I'm a 7-star director with True Vision Health, and you are on Tru Power Hour. So I appreciate you all being on. For those of you who are just kind of tuning in or learning about Power Hour, it's roughly an hour of put together. Sometimes it's interview style. Sometimes it's different content. Sometimes it's, hey, let's just get together and work for an hour and come up with different ideas and things like that. So thank you for taking time out of your evening to be here. And most importantly, thank you to all the hosts that volunteer this time to help everyone. So if you're in group pages, if you're in group chats, make sure you encourage, Tru Power Hour. When it comes out every week, just share it with your team, send out reminders, because the hosts are volunteering their time to help a lot of times teams that aren't even there. So they just dedicate their time. So thank you to all the hosts that make Tru Power Hour possible. We truly appreciate that. So let's go ahead and get started with a bang. So I think it's super important that, especially in this industry, right? Because some people don't take network marketing very seriously, or people just kind of laugh at you, or it's just like this silly little blah, 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 guess what she's selling, right? I mean, how many times? I just think that that's kind of the reputation that we get. So to me, it's so important that people know that you're taking your network marketing business seriously, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start the night out with a Facebook status that says, I showed up to go up, hashtag Tru Power Hour, okay? I showed up to go up, because that's exactly what you did. And we're referring to business. So if you want to add, I showed up to go up for my business, or I showed up to go up to the top, or something like that, but something along those lines, and hashtag it Tru Power Hour. People need to see when you go to a training event, when you're doing some sort of training event, when you're hosting one, when you're doing this, you could take a picture of all of us on here. When you're doing stuff like that, I think it's important that people see you are taking your business seriously. The more they see you taking it seriously, the more intrigued they're kind of going to be. So again, let's just take a minute. If you've just recently made a post, you don't want to make the post, that's perfectly fine. But just, I showed up to go up, hashtag Tru Power Hour. I think that's good. And just kind of letting people know, hey, I'm here, I'm dedicating this hour. We all have 5,480 million things we could be doing on this Wednesday before Christmas, but here we are, right? Because you care enough about your business to show up. You made the dedication, the sacrifice, and the time to be here. So congratulations to you. And every time you show up, you're adding. So some of you will hear me say this, and you'll hear me say it over and over and over again, okay? So you've planted your seed, and every time you show up, you're watering it. You're watering that seed, you're watering it, you're watering it. If you quit watering it, it's gonna die. That's it. If you keep watering it, at some point your flower is gonna grow, meaning your business, okay? It could be 6 months, could be 6 weeks, could be 6 years. But if you quit watering it, showing up and being involved, then guess what? You're dead. You're dead in the ground. So anyhow, applause to you all. And I want you all to kind of start thinking about what 2020 is going to look like for you as far as training goes, as far as events go. I just booked my first flight today for 2020. Kind of bittersweet. I've been home for about 3 months. I don't think I've been on an airplane. It's actually been kind of nice. It's been great to be home with my family, but I'm ready to get back out there. So I booked my first flight, and I think I have something. I already have my planner for next year, and I'm already like, I think almost every weekend but one in January, I have an event, because January is obviously always crazy, especially like in the health and wellness industry, right? So I encourage you all to start. We're not going to dive super deep into 2020 goals, but I want you to start kind of considering and saying, like, where am I going to prioritize my business? I think that's important. And what are my non-negotiables, not only for my family and my life, but for my business? What am I going to do for my Tru business next year? Like, if you're going to be at convention in Atlanta, I want you to already have that mapped out. I want you to be thinking, like, financially, what am I going to invest into my business this year to get back? Whether it be, training, whether it be getting to corporate events. Obviously, that's hugely important. I'll say this once and I'll say it again too. There's something magical about being surrounded by people who get what you get and they're doing what you're doing. And going to Summit in Atlanta is going to be the best thing. So I want you all to kind of go ahead and plan out what does your budget look like? What do your goals look like? What do you need to sell? What do you need to do in your Tru Vision business to make sure that you get to Atlanta? Maybe start talking to roommates already. Make this a goal for your business, because I'm telling you, conventions can be life-changing. Outside of that, maybe there's some other networking events that you want to get to. That's something. I'm doing the podcast convention in March. That's something different for me. I'm just setting myself up in some different areas and learning about a few different things, because growth is going to be my huge priority next year. Like, I'm at a great level. Don't get me wrong. I'm super grateful, but I want to level up next year. So I have some pretty exciting things coming. And I think all of you all will too. So that's awesome. Anyhow, that was just a little bit I want to talk about. Right now during this season, if you will, I'm sure you all seen a lot of giveaways. Maybe you're doing giveaways. Maybe you're part of giveaways. Maybe you're doing giveaways in your customer. I know Kaylee's doing the 12 days of Christmas. I know a lot of other groups are doing Christmas stuff too. I think what's really important with that, and if you're advertising publicly, obviously not in a group page, but making sure you're using hashtags. I'm telling you, because I was doing a giveaway, there are people that are searching out just these hashtags for giveaways, holiday giveaways, things like that. So when you're making your post publicly, there are people that are searching strictly for hashtag giveaways or a hashtag enter to win or something like that. You can Google what are today's hottest hashtags or what are the top giveaway hashtags. Use those hashtags. That is going to draw attention to your giveaway. I noticed when I was going through looking at some of our giveaways that's all those people had done. Like, they were just sharing all these giveaways. Well, guess what? It probably worked out well for them. So it's going to work out for you to attract the people looking for giveaways. But I'm also going to encourage you, if you're interested and have a little bit of time, definitely look up those hashtag giveaways, because there's a lot going on. I noticed them, or hashtag holiday giveaways or prizes or anything like that. They're super popular. So if you are advertising publicly some sort of giveaway, make sure you're using hashtags, not just now during the holiday season, just in general. You all get familiar with hashtags, because people look for hashtags. Like on Instagram especially, you can follow specifically a certain hashtag. So anytime someone hashtags food for thought, it will show up in your newsfeed. This is Instagram. I shifted really quickly. I went from Facebook to Instagram. But as far as hashtags go, they work really similar. So Googling, there are websites that will tell you what are the top, hashtags. I encourage you to use those. Hashtags are almost like a index card, if you will, or like a Google for content. I know that's kind of silly, but that's kind of the best way I know how to describe it. So anything that you're looking for, maybe you're looking for, top recipe or gift ideas or top gift, hashtag that and look at all the stuff that comes up, you guys. Like anything you want to know. I'm not just talking Christmas. I'm talking in general. Like I said, it's almost like a Google, if you will, for social media, like award-winning cookie hashtag, or hashtag Christmas morning, or hashtag prettiest Christmas tree, something like that. So make sure you are using hashtags. Again, Christmas time is a great time to use it, but weight loss, new year, new resolutions, new goals. And obviously if you pick the top hashtag, that means a lot of people are using it, right? So you probably don't want to pick the top one for as much exposure, probably a little bit further down, but you can definitely use those hashtags to your advantage. Yeah. Facebook owns Instagram. Hashtags are hyperlinked. Okay. Yeah, I did actually know they were owned by the same person and didn't know they were hyperlinked, but that is good information. So use your hashtags was my point. So let's go ahead and get a task out of the way. So it's 8 o'clock here, so I can assume that, it's obviously the latest for me versus all of you all, but I want you to take the time. This is something Kaylee's really been pushing in her customer support page, is making 10 comments a day. And I'm telling you all, because I'm in there, it's the same customer support page I use, the page has shot up. The activity has shot up in there because people are posting, making, 10 comments on 10 different posts. So if you have already, fine, great. I want you to go comment on 5 more posts. It's not going to hurt. If you haven't, whatever customer page you use for your customers, I want you all to take a few minutes, go in the customer page and comment on 10 posts. If you've already done that for the day, go comment on 5 more. That can't hurt, right? It's going to bring productivity level up, and that's what you want, more eyes on your customer page, right? If you've already done it in yours and you're on somebody else's customer page, go volunteer some time, go pay some rent in there. Let's take a few minutes, go make 10 comments on your customer page, maybe share one, but let's go bring some life into those customer support pages. So you all head off and do that right now. Click done when you're done. 10 if you haven't done it. 5 if you have already done, or you can go volunteer some time to somebody else's customer page and cheer them on and bring on some encouragement in their page. I'm telling you, it will bring your page to life. So go get busy. Click done when you're done. All right. Everyone should be finishing up. I'm seeing done, done, done. Oh, and I'm sorry you're in Facebook jail. That's terrible. Done, done. Y'all are finishing up. Good job. Thank you. But I'll check and be sure that you're muted because somebody's not, but I can't see. Kind of creepy. Is everyone should be behind? Maybe you. I got you. All right, I found the culprit. You probably didn't know. Anyhow, all right. So the importance, you guys. Oh, sorry, Leanne. I just walked off. So right now we are, if you haven't already, commenting on 10 posts in your customer support page. Sorry, I walked off to make more hot tea. 10 posts. Go comment on 10 different posts in whatever customer support page you're in. If you've already done 10, do 5 more. What's it going to hurt? I'm telling you all, I've watched it happen in Kaylee's groups, and I know there's some other groups that are doing it as well. When the engagement goes up in your groups, your potentials are seeing more going on in there. And it's so awesome. Imagine like how great you're going to feel in a community when everyone's cheering you on. Like, hey, way to go. Like, hey, just got my order. And everyone's like, oh, we can't wait to, can't wait to see your results, or excited for you to get started. Just fueling them with positive energy. They're a lot more apt to be encouraged, stick around, ask questions if they need help. So not only are they, I think Allie's getting on. Not only are they, being part of this community and they're your customer, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable in general because they're like, oh, it's not just me. So I can't encourage you all enough to make sure that you are being active in your customer support pages. And it looks like most of you are done. And that's something you should be doing every single day. Some of you naturally do it. If you can chime in and help, if you can kind of share a recipe, share something fun, share some encouraging words, that's always a win. So I just highly recommend that you all getting active in your customer support pages. The admins work really hard, so I know they appreciate the extra help. So perfect. Next, let's keep talking groups. We talk a lot about interest groups, right? And I've also seen where yard sale groups are really, really hot lately. I've heard that they are dead. I hear some people say they're dead. And then I've seen posts blowing up about how hot yard sale groups are right now. So let's take a minute, and I want you to go post. You can either do yard sale sites if that's something you want to do, or you can go in your interest groups and go comment. Interest groups, I think, are probably the most important thing right now because, right, the idea is we run out of people to talk to, right? We want to constantly be growing our cold market to a warm market. So being in a group where you're genuinely interested in being there, I've made so many friends in interest groups, not with the intent to sell them something, but genuinely just to become their friend. So let's go make 10 comments in your whatever groups that you're in, your interest group. So you can go comment on 10 posts. You can make a post if you want. If you want to do a few yard sale ones, you can go throw those in. If you all work that pretty hard, if you want to take a minute and go throw a couple ads in, you can do that. But for right now, let's go make 10 comments in an interest group, or a couple interest groups you can change, and then press done when you are done. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, interest groups, I mean, if you're into dog sitting, if you're into a specific breed of dog, you love beef, I mean, there's an interest group out there for everyone. Maybe a stay-at-home mom's interest group. There's a IVF interest group that I'm in. There's you name it, a gardening club. The list can go on and on. So find some interest groups if you're not in any. And if you are, go ahead and post in 10, make 10 comments. I won't disappear this time. I'm going to go do mine too. I know we might have some on hopping on kind of late. So right now we're making 10 comments in an interest group page. And I'm telling you all, I've learned, like I said, it's pretty public knowledge that we've been going through the IVF process. And I'm telling you, I've learned more in those IVF Facebook group pages than I have from like any doctor, anything. Like everyone's so supportive and helpful. So I always try to do the same thing. Like if someone asks a question that I know the answer to, I try to answer it because at one point I was that person. So maybe you have a health condition, maybe your kid does, maybe something like that. I'm telling you all, getting involved in those Facebook group pages is huge. It's usually such a great community. So right now we're just making 10 posts like, hey, awesome, or answering a question that you know the answer to help in some of your group pages. So, and again, join these groups with the intention of literally just to make friends. If you sell them something ever and ever, great, but more importantly, building that relationship with them and kind of like inviting them to your storefront, if you will, which is your Facebook page. Once you become Facebook friends, or how often when someone does send you a friend request, you scroll through their Facebook, right? Before you say, hey, yeah, I'll accept them. So your storefront is your Facebook page or your Instagram page or whatever the case may be. Done. I have some people done. Got about 5 of you. We'll give everybody just a few more minutes. And those of you that are done, you can go comment some more while we finish waiting if you want. Can't hurt. You can't over comment in those interest groups. Like I said, my biggest thing is genuinely like helping people, because I know a lot of people help me when I'm confused or I have no idea. I like go to that page and usually someone has an answer and they're willing to help. Give everybody just a couple more minutes. So far we've made 10 comments in our customer support page, whichever one you use for your team or you put your prospects, and we're making 10 comments in an interest group. Because the ultimate, yeah, exactly. It's super helpful. I love those pages. I spend a lot of time in them. just talking and getting to know people or getting to know their story and, building a relationship with them. We're in the relationship business. This is a you business, not an I business. So what can we do for them in the future is really important. All right, looks like y'all are finishing up. I'm gonna give just a few more seconds, and if you haven't finished, you can always go back. But while we are posting, let's go ahead and go. I think this is really important, and sometimes we do it. I feel like we do it, but sometimes it's nice just to remind people. So I want you all to take a minute and go post on the wall of someone that inspires you. Maybe it's in the business, maybe it's in everyday life, maybe it's a teacher, maybe it's a friend. I want you to pick 5 people and go let them know that they inspire you, or that you appreciate them, or that they motivate you, or something like that. Let's just take a minute, make someone feel good. It costs nothing for us to make other people feel good and remind them, like, hey, hope you have a great day. Thanks for all that you do. I appreciate you. So let's take a minute, go make 5 posts on their wall of people you truly appreciate. Maybe it's a mentor. Maybe it's someone you've seen on Power Hour before that gave you a really great tip and it just like really clicked for you. Like, hey, Stacy, thank you for that great tip. I see things better now. Take this time, find 5 people, again, everyday life, business, maybe it's a mentor, maybe someone like that, and just let them know you appreciate them, you look up to them, they inspire you, they keep you motivated. Let's be appreciative and just say thank you. Because there are days, you guys, that I don't feel like showing up today. I really don't feel great today. It's kind of just gotten worse, as the day goes on. But even when I don't feel like showing up, I know that someone is counting on me to show up so that they show up, right? So it kind of becomes a ripple effect. And that's hugely important to me. And it's a huge motivator for me, is like someone's waiting for me to show up today so that they show up. And then somebody's watching for them to show up so they show up. So whether you know it or not, whether you think you're inspiring no one, guess what? I guarantee you are inspiring someone to work a little bit higher, be a little more motivated, give a little bit more, help a little bit more. Someone is watching you, whether it's 1 person or 100 people. You know what? You are motivating and inspiring someone. So make sure you keep showing up for them, because you don't know what a difference it's going to make in this world. And again, I love the idea of doing this when you think about it, guys. It's something that I slack at sometimes, but like team-wise, motivation-wise, like people love just to be appreciated. Giving them a shout out in a Facebook group page, whether it's upline, sideline, downline, if someone's helping you in your business, give them a shout out. Emily, what are you doing? There's only 1 spot for you to sign. Use that one. These are like those erasable ones. All right, y'all click done when you're done posting on 5 people's wall. While y'all are doing that, I'm going to give you a quick reminder on sharing content, okay? If you see some content, I want you to make sure that you're either saving and re-uploading it yourself, or that's the best. Like, just save it to your phone and re-upload it. If you share directly from another page, it's going to link back to there. So if you share, say you share corporate status, which they give us great material, that's great. It's going to link back to the corporate page instead of you directly. So you want them to get in contact with you and not directly back. So I just wanted to remind you all, with all areas, make sure that, not obviously just with corporate, they put out great content, but just the first thing that came to mind, make sure that you are sharing it, like saving it yourself, and then re-uploading it. I just have that. I have reminders on my list. So reminder about sharing content. Make sure you're making it your own. Also, corporate's hours. I posted it earlier. I don't know where it is, but I have it right here in front of me, and I will review it really quickly. We are closed for Christmas break Monday, December 23rd through Wednesday, December 25th. Weekly commissions will be paid on Monday, December 23rd as normal. Normal business hours will resume on Thursday, December 26th. We'll be closing at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, December 31st, and closed Wednesday, January 1st. All normal business hours will resume January 2nd. So that's floating around somewhere. We see you, Huntley.
I'm silent. I'm sorry.
We saw you. I have an office, but I have to do my Zooms in here because the Wi-Fi is better. The Wi-Fi is really crappy. So Matt's in the fridge and Huntley's coming out of his room, things like that. But anyhow, just a reminder about the holiday business hours. So yeah, should be fun, interesting end of the month with holidays. Okay, everyone done posting on 5 people's walls? It looks like it. If you're not, you can always go back and do that. So I don't know how many of you know about Bitly, bit.ly. I'll say it again, bit, and I'll put it in the comments. Has anybody heard of Bitly? Anybody use Bitly? Yes, Regina does. Anybody else familiar with Bitly? Yes and yes. Okay, good. Yes. Well, it looks like a lot of you are, so that's good. Heard of it. Okay, perfect. Yes, good. I'm happy that so many of you have, but for those of you who haven't, it's basically, you can go right there to Bitly, bit.ly. You can create an account for free. Let me see if my screen share, give me just a minute. I'll give you an idea, maybe, of what it looks like. Oh, here it is. So you can create an account. Hold on, I gotta move y'all. Y'all are right in my way. Oh, okay, there you are. I did some earlier down here. So you can create an account. It's free. And then this is like, as soon as you log in, this is what it looks like. And you put create. And you can post a long URL. Like say you're going to use you're sending your customer a link, or I don't know, let's just put copy, whatever. Oh, I had Amazon on here. Okay. And it'll create a shorter link for you instead of having to write all of that. As you can see right there, it's now made it to that. That's my custom link. And you can copy it and share it. And not only that, once you've already made it, they're over here. So this is just like my home office, whatever. Not that I would be sharing this with anyone, but for any that you do create, they're over here. And you can go back and use them later. You can copy it, share it, edit it. But it's a great free tool for those really long websites or whatever. And you can make it shorter. So this is a great tool. It's free. I don't know if it's free forever or what it is, to be honest, but okay, let's stop. It's really easy to use, like super easy to use. bit.ly. Again, it's free. It looks like a lot of people do use this, so I highly encourage it. It makes long links shorter, makes it easier, and then it keeps them in reference that you can go back and use them again. So perfect. I'm glad some people got stuff out of that, and I'm even more happy that some people already knew about that. So that makes me happy. Okay, let's talk about, I'm going over my notes here. Okay, so I don't know. I actually saw, I don't know. I don't remember her name, but I know it was somebody, I know it was a Trevision person. So in these interest groups, she went and posted something like, are you, like a picture of herself, and it was just like a mom's interest group, and it was like, are you interested in healthy recipes, fitness tips, you know, team support, blah, 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 blah. If so, I can get you added to my page. Didn't say anything about Trevision, didn't come off salesy, just literally like offered support for weight loss. It was really well written, and a picture, I think, of herself or something like that. And you guys, like, people are like, yes, add me, yes, add me, yes, add me, yes, add me. So when you go into these, they do not like you to be salesy, right? That's not our intention. We're going in there to make friends. But coming up with something really simple and creative and well worded, I'm gonna try to find it and put it in the chat. I didn't come up with it, but it was so well written, and people are just like, yes, please add me. Yes, please add me, without it looking salesy. It was literally what your customer support page does offer, you know, in most cases, motivation, motivation and customers, you know, what you actually have to offer. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, perfect, Karen. I didn't see yours, but it was very, very similar to this. If anybody else has another good script handy, feel free to drop it right there. Yeah, this is perfect. And Karen, would you say you've had pretty good interest with that? My guess is yes, because I happened to just be scrolling and somebody else was in the same page that I was in. Yep, there you go. Karen just gave you all the bread and butter right there. She uses it all the time. So that's really good. You all take something, make it your own. Oh yeah, that's even better. 10 update pictures in the comments. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. You could put a picture of yourself like, hey, you know, I'm in this great group page, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's some really good ones. There's some similar, I've seen some similar, but like maybe change it up a little bit, maybe make it a little bit more personal to you. But I'm telling you guys, in those interest groups, it's without like being spammy, and they won't get nasty like, oh, we're not here to sell stuff, because you're not selling anything. You're literally just offering support, and a lot of people like that. So I would highly recommend that. Another thing I've seen in sorry, y'all, my head is full in a fog. In the in your group pages, sorry, it's like off in La La Land, is literally saying, hey guys, I'm super excited. I'm always looking for new friends to connect with. Let me know if you want to be friends. Like something as simple as that, you would be amazed. Or like there's like a pre-made thing already, like who wants to be friends or join friends or whatever. And I'm not what kind of quality friend you're going to get. I don't know. But I have seen, like, especially in the makeup page, they'll say, hey, looking to connect, looking, you know, for like-minded people. I'm always looking for friends. I just moved to this area, you know, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I'm doing something. I can hear y'all. You know, like, hey, new to this area, something like that, looking for friends. And people are just like, a lot of people really just want friends. Like I said, I don't guarantee the quality, but I've seen those feeds blow up. So yeah, there's a really good one. Yeah, that's another really good one. You all make sure, if you have anybody else has another one to share, please feel free to share. And again, you can change up these words a little bit, make it a little more personal, but 9 out of 10 times they get really good response for growing your list. Okay, quick review from Thanksgiving. So did a podcast on this. I also did a Facebook Live on this. So some of you might have already seen this. I just want to remind you, going into the Christmas holidays, what does that look like for your business? Like, you're excited, you want to sell every distant cousin, sign them up, get them rolling because they're going to be your rock star and they're going to be so good at this, right? So we've all been there, we've all done that, and we're excited and motivated, but kind of like the challenge that I issued and what I did the Facebook Live on and the podcast on was, going in with the intent to collect whys, like genuinely having conversations with people, finding out what's going on with their lives without pitching your product or your business opportunity, then taking a couple days and following up with them again later. For instance, I'm talking to Sally. Sally just had her brand new baby. Oh, your baby's so cute. Sally doesn't want to go back to work. She's like really struggling, like, oh, I don't want, and you're thinking, oh, light bulbs, light bulbs, light bulbs. Do I have a job for you? And you want to say that, right? But I'm going to encourage you, like, hold off. Don't say anything. And let's give that a couple of days. And then follow back up with Sally a couple days later, like, hey, Sally, I was just thinking about you. I know you said you weren't really looking forward to going back to work, but, here's an opportunity for you if you're interested. Using something like that, but genuinely enjoying your time, having real conversations, and then kind of making notes to follow back up later with how you can help these people. Sorry, someone keeps coming unmuted. So I just wanted to remind you all about that. Did anyone, it's okay, Sarah, I muted you. It just keeps coming unmuted. It's not your fault. So did anyone do that kind of in the holidays? Did anyone see me kind of talk about that before? Like not just going in throwing up, but, kind of collecting ideas and then going back to them a few days later. Like I said, I did do podcasts and things on that one too. So I encourage you all. Yeah, I'll have to find it, Trisha. But obviously if it comes up, but kind of one of the tips was just, enjoy your time, talk to people, make it real, and then kind of be a collector of problems. Like, oh, so-and-so said they're not sleeping well. And you're like, oh, well, we have true slumber. But not telling them right then, just maybe following up a couple days later and saying, hey, yeah, very vague, leaving it kind of very bit vague, and then following up with them later so it doesn't look like, you're this person trying to throw up your opportunity on everybody, at the family Christmas party. So I think that was some really kind of sound advice to kind of, yes, you want to put it out there, but in the same breath, you don't want to be too pushy. So let's talk about something else. I just talked about it. I want to talk about free content and all the content literally that exists out there. You guys, in this digital age that we live in, like if you need the answer to something, you can go to YouTube, right? You can, like Matt was learning how to put up drywall off YouTube. Okay. Like there's a YouTube video for everything. It's so important. So I want to encourage you all to use the free tools. The biggest thing for me, the easiest thing for me is something I absolutely love that's readily available to everyone is podcast. Just give me a 1 in the comments if you listen to any podcast at all ever. If you've ever listened to a podcast, just put a 1. To me, it comes built in on your iPhone right there. If you have no idea what you're doing or what you're talking about or what I'm talking about, here's podcasts right here on my iPhone. I don't know about Android world, but podcast. There are so many different avenues that you can listen to. There's a search bar, just like if you were on Google. If you want to look up something specifically, it'll pull keywords. If you want to do network marketing, if you want to do training, if you want to do motivational, whatever. And guess what, you guys? It is free. It's free. Like podcasts to me are simple. They're easy. I can do them while I'm driving down the road. I can listen while I'm working out. I can listen to, I was wrapping gifts, and guess what? I was listening to a podcast and taking notes. The content is there and it is free. So if you all have like a good, I like Rob Sterry has a podcast, Network Marketing Breakthroughs. I love his podcast. The Angie Lee Show. I have several podcasts that I really enjoy. And there's so, like I said, if there's a topic, you can do it Gary Vee. Yep. Yeah, anyone can get your own podcast channel. We use Anchor. Anchor's the, like, kind of, you can listen on there. But anyone can do a podcast. Absolutely. Yeah. And there's so many of them because of that, because of the versatility. I'm telling you guys, make sure if you're not into podcasts, it's the way to go. You can stick them in your headphones. You can work out. It's easy. You can take notes. I've learned so much. Like I said, Billy, I would say I love Rob Sperry's, like, as far as business goes. I love Rob Sperry's podcast because it's kind of always changing. It's called Network Marketing Breakthroughs with Rob Sperry. I also like the Angie Lee Show. She does a lot of network marketing / entrepreneur ones. Build Your Network by Travis Chappell. I really like that one too. There's another one called Entrepreneurs on Fire. Yeah, I like A3 too. So which I just use a podcast on, somebody said, which network do you use? I just use this like podcast thing on my phone that already comes with it. But there's Anchor. There's a few different outlets. Anchor is like actually our host one. So there's Anchor. So there are a few different ones that you can listen to. Google Podcast, yeah. And you guys, yeah, he has really good podcast. I love Rob's podcast. It always has like a variety of new people on. It's not always just Rob. He always has guests on. And Rob was our guest a while back. That was really good. So I want to encourage you all. That's kind of your homework. I want you to find a podcast. Like I said, it could be about money. It could be about house flipping. It could be about general entrepreneurship. There are so many topics that you can get with podcasts. So that is your homework. And I want you all to follow up with me. I want you to go find one new podcast. Obviously, you're going to have to listen to a few, but I want you to go find one new podcast in the next few days and come back and report to me. I want a list of what your podcast choice is. I mean, I'm not telling you that because I have one that's great and wonderful. That's not what this is about. I'm telling you that because I genuinely believe in them. I listen to them. It's free content and I just take notes. You know, there's so much education out there that's free, but again, between that and YouTube. So maybe you like to watch stuff. YouTube is your thing. Podcast to me is easier. But that is your homework. I want you all to go find at least one new podcast channel that you like and just send it to me. Can we make an active post asking people what their favorite? Sure. Yeah. If anyone has a favorite one already, post it here. Or I can post it in Truest Ones and pin it at the top. I want you to send it to me. But if you're in the Truest Ones group page, raise your hand. Or I take that back. If you need to be added to Truest Ones, it's my group page. It's just like an easy platform that we can all access because everyone's on my team. So if you want, then we could start everyone, if you need to be added to Truest Ones, send me a message, please. Alyssa Cowart, ALYSSACOWART. Or if you all see your team member saying add me, add them, and then we will start, like I will pin it at the top, and I want to know everyone's favorite podcast. Yes, I won't remember all of you, so if you'll send me a message, or if your upline is in there, or upline if you see somebody in there, let's get them added. But it's Truest, spelled TRUEST, ones, ONES. And we'll get you added. And like I said, we can start, that'll just be the easiest place to start a poll as to what everyone's favorite podcast is. But I really want you guys to start utilizing that because it's really great content. So I think we're about wrapped it up. I showed you a few if you want to win stuff, and also if you want to give stuff away. It's just a great informational tool. So let's recap on that. Hashtags, customer pages, being active in there It's going to grow your business. It's going to grow the activity levels. I promise you that. The bit.ly, how to shorten those long links. That's super important, and it's going to make someone's life a whole heck of a lot easier. We posted on 5 people's walls. Let's keep that going too. Just let them know, hey, I appreciate you. Thanks for all that you do, business, personal, whatever it looks like. The Thanksgiving, quick recap on that, collecting problems during the Christmas holidays, following up later with the solution so you can help them. Sharing content, make sure you're saving it, making it your own. Corporate holiday hours, we covered that. And podcasting free content, making sure we're utilizing that. So, all right. Yes, I'm glad. All right, and if you need to be added to Truest Ones, just send me a message. I'll get you added. I'm going to bed sooner than later because I'm losing my voice. So I hope you all did get some great tips. Like I said, I just kind of threw these together today. That's how I like to run my power hours, so random, and you never know what's going to come out. But I hope that you all are taking something away from this. Let's do some reminders. I think tomorrow is Power Hour at 11 a.m., I believe, with Laura Brown, who's a 4-star. She's absolutely amazing. Yes. So tomorrow is 11 a.m. with Miss Laura Brown. And then Friday is Wendy Navarro, who's another incredible rock star. She's a 4-star, and she's doing that one early at 9 a.m. So some of you may not be able to catch that. So it's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But all of these are recorded and can be used for a later time. Next week, we won't be doing power hours, obviously, where everyone's going to be busy. So I hope you enjoy your time with your family, and you can always catch some replays on our YouTube channel too. All the podcasts. I'm telling you, I'm losing it. I swear it's tea, not alcohol. All the old power hours are available on the YouTube channel. So I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas, and I will see y'all soon. Good night, guys.